Okay guys, so today we started rules of exponents, and we were just, this is just the beginning. We're not going to have homework over this right now. We're just going to do these as warm-ups, and we're going to call it SLOT, Sustained Learning Over Time. So you're going to learn a little bit each day. We're going to keep doing them over and over and over again, and then hopefully you'll learn them after seeing them daily for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then we will have a quiz and a test on them. Okay, when you have a number raised to a power, like we do here, okay, this number, the number being raised, is called, this is called the base, and this is called the exponent, or the power. And we would read that as a to the nth power, or a to the n. In this example, right here, I have 2 to the 4th power, so my base is 2, and my exponent is 4. Okay? The exponent tells you how many times to multiply the base by itself. So what this really means, it means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that ends up giving me 16. I have a bunch of examples on this slide. 3 to the 2nd power, or 3 squared, is how we say this first example, and that means, that means 3 times 3, which is 9. Lots of people say 6. They mess that up a lot, okay? 5 to the 2nd power, or 5 squared, we say, would be 5 times 5, which is 25. 2 to the 6th power, or 2 to the 6th, you could even say, is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. And this would be 10 to the 3rd power, or 10 cubed, and that means 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000. Okay, I've given you a couple of examples in simplified form, and we're going to write them expanded form. So x to the 7th means x times itself 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So x to the 7th equals this in expanded form. A to the 4th in expanded form would be a times a times a times a. Now what if I gave you an example in expanded form and asked you to simplify? So if I had, you see, m times m times m times m times m, that's expanded form. I want you to write it in simplest form. You're going to write m to the, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 m's. So in simplest form, it's going to be m to the 5th. Okay. If I gave you this example, r times r times r times r times r times r, that's good. You're going to write that in simplest form, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 r's. So you're going to write r to the 6th. Okay, our first major rule. Any number raised to the 0 power is 1. Super important. Okay, you need to know that. Any number to the power 0 is 1. So 4 to the 0 equals 1. X to the 0 equals 1. 25 to the 0 equals 1. 16,256 to the 0 equals 1. Okay. So here's the, if I'm just going to write a rule for you, a to the 0 power equals 1. Okay. That's for any real number a. If you want to check it out on your calculator, hit 25, caret symbol, 0. And it should tell you, once you hit enter, that it equals 1. Okay, I just have a few more examples for you, and we're just going to take each of these examples and write them in expanded form. So first of all, I'm going to read this. It's x to the 10th. X is the base. 10 is your exponent. So that means I'm going to multiply x by itself 10 times. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2x to the third, this is very important. Only x is being raised to the third power. This exponent just goes on your x. It does not go to the 2. So this means 2 times x times x times x. On this one, it's 5 squared, so that means 5 times 5, times x to the 4th. So that means x times x times x times x. And lastly, now this one's different because 2x to the 5th, see the parentheses here? That means 5 goes to the 2 and the x. So this whole thing is being raised to the 5th power, so it's 2x, 2x, 5 times 2x, 2x, 2x. Okay, that's expanded form. Or if you wanted to rewrite all of your 2's together, and then all of your x's together, that's fine too. Okay, last slide, guys. Now we're going to simplify the following. So we've got things in expanded form, and we're going to simplify them down to simplest form. I've got m times m times m times m times m. M times m times m times m times m times 2. So the 2 should be out in front because that's just proper algebra. And then I've got m 5 times, so that's m to the 5th power. Okay. I've got 4y times 4y times 4y, and if we're just going to simplify this, writing it using exponents, it's going to be 4y to the 3rd. Or, if you like this better, 4 to the 3rd, y to the 3rd, because we could put all the 4's together. 4 times 4 times 4 times y times y times y, and we could end up with 4 to the 3rd. Oh, y to the 3rd, not y to the 6th. Sorry about that. Okay. And lastly, what's being raised to the 0 power here? Just the y, not the 2 and not the x, because the 0 just goes with this y. There's no parentheses. So that means 2x times y to the 0. What's anything to the 0 power? 1. And 2x times 1 is just 2x. So here are my good answers. Hope that makes it nice and clear. And I'll see you guys or talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh yeah, I promised you a goofy joke, so here it is. What did one hat say to the other? You stay here, I'll go on ahead.